Kati joined UGC Mastery after many years in network marketing. She worked her butt off and hustled, and her biggest paycheck in network marketing was $5,000, but she had to work night and day for it. Every holiday season, she would have to go work at a jewelry store to supplement her income, and she spent the best time of the year away from her kids. At the beginning of 2025, she was sick of the way that her life looked, and she decided to make a very big, scary investment in herself. She decided to join UGC Mastery and become a UGC creator. Not only did Kati become a UGC creator, but she ended up becoming one of UGC Mastery's coaches. She has helped students build up to $5,000 to $7,000 a month as UGC creators. And I think the biggest thing that you can take along the way from Kati's story is actually her mindset. Kati was not handed this on a silver platter. It was not an easy journey for her, but she wanted her life to be different so badly that she was willing to push through even when things got hard. I cannot wait for you to hear Kati's story. She is such an asset to the UGC Mastery team, and she is such a beautiful person. Her wealth of knowledge around mindset and growing that mindset and making the choice to become a more strong-minded person is so incredible. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Hey, Kati, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited for everybody to hear your story. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So first and foremost, most obvious question, kind of like, who are you? Where are you from? Why did you get into UGC? Like, tell me a little bit about who you are.
Oh man. So I'm obviously Kati. I live in Florida. I've lived in Florida the past 14 years. I'm a mom of two, a homeschool mom. Um, and I've been in network marketing for the last 8 years. And I loved it. I had no idea what I was doing when I first got into it, but it served me for where I was at that point in my life. And so I loved it for that. Um, and then as the years went on, I just started feeling like I didn't know if it was for me anymore, but I was comfortable and I had a comfortable pay. So I just kind of went with it, and I knew I wanted multiple streams of income, but I had no idea how to do it. And anytime something would come up, I'd be like, no, it's not for me. No, it's not for me. And then I followed you on social media and saw that you had, oh my gosh, you had a PDF like forever ago. And I just had this vision that I was going to basically just buy your PDF, learn UGC, and teach those around me who were also very miserable with their own lives how to make money that was outside of network marketing, because so many people wanted to have an online income without being on social media all the time. And I was also, it had gotten to the point with network marketing where it was comfortable, yes, but I still needed more because we had two kids. So I was picking up seasonal shifts at a jewelry store, which was amazing until it wasn't. Like, it just wasn't, it didn't fulfill me. All my holidays were literally in a jewelry store, not with my kids at all. Um, and so I bought the PDF, and it felt like I was just reading a foreign language. I was like, yeah, I have no idea what to do. So I just kind of like closed it, and it's somewhere probably still lost in my emails. It wasn't for me.
That's funny.
But I kept watching you, and it's like you would just randomly pop up on my algorithm on Instagram with something about UGC and how, like, I watched your entire journey. It wasn't so great for you in the beginning, so I kind of lost interest. And then when it was great, it came back into my algorithm, and I was like, okay, I'm watching her. And then you started your academy, and I knew, like, it was like do or die. That's how it felt for me. Like, you're either going to do something now or you're never going to do anything. And I was so tired of my years looking the exact same every year. And like, I like my life. I feel like I'm very blessed, but I wanted more. And I knew that there was more for the taking. And yeah, that's how I found it. And now I don't know how much more you want me to share, but I have a lot to share about.
I'm so excited to hear your story because, like, I know it's been a crazy journey. So we will get into all of that, but I love that. Like, what originally made you even consider UGC? I mean, like, it's kind of like network marketing, but like not at all.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's like yes and no. So for me, I felt like it would be, I wanted another stream of income, but I needed it to fit into my life, the way that my life already looked. And some people think that is crazy that you want extra money, but you're not really willing to like change too much of your life. But I knew it was possible. So I'm like, I'm not going to change a bunch of things just to have more income. I don't know. So, um, it just felt like I'm already making content, right? I loved creating content and lifestyle and vlogs and all of this stuff, but it wasn't serving me. It
Mm.
wasn't helping me anymore. So I felt like I'm already doing it, so this will just be an easy way to transition.
Yeah, I love that. I think the network marketing pipeline to UGC is like so real. I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's just because I came from network marketing, so I'm like all these network marketers are now UGC creators, but I think that it's yeah, the pipeline is so real. I mean, it's basically you get paid to create content instead of having to manage a team, sell products. It just makes sense. I mean, it's something that a skill set that network marketers have already developed, I guess.
Hmm.
So, what were you kind of like struggling with before joining? Like you had this extra income, you didn't want your holidays to go to the jewelry store anymore, but really like kind of what made you say yes to this?
Um, the money, like that's really what I struggled with the most was like I was I feel like you really have to hit rock bottom and learn to be comfortable in rock bottom and like or not necessarily comfortable, but you have to know how to survive at rock bottom before you can start to climb up. And I felt like I had spent so long at rock bottom that I was just like, okay, like I'm tired of being here. So what's next for me? And I don't know. It was like one of those feelings deep in your soul that I just felt like if I had to try it. I had to. It was do or die for me. That's how I felt.
Can you tell me a little bit about rock bottom? Like what was that for you?
Finances for sure. I felt like that started off great. And even in network marketing, I mean, there was my highest rank that I ever hit. I was so like my team and I worked so hard, like literally all day, all night for months. And I received a paycheck. It was over $5,000 and that was the highest that I'd ever done in network marketing and I freaking worked my butt off for it.
Yeah.
And I felt like this is so amazing. I'm so excited, but I couldn't let myself celebrate and like truly enjoy that moment because I knew I had to keep going. Like I had to keep running just as hard. And I was exhausted. Like my children were, just a few years younger than what they are now. And that's not how I wanted my days and my nights. Like I love sleep to look like anymore. So I really had to, my paycheck very quickly dwindled right, right back down after that. And I really had to, for me, um, I had to learn how to feed our family and how to do things, homeschool, and all of the same adventures that we like to doing as a family. I had to figure out how to do that on a small paycheck, and that
Mm.
was very big for me. I didn't. Yeah, it was hard. It was very hard. I learned how to grocery shop different. I learned how to feed my family different. I learned how to it became like fun for me to shop at different grocery stores to get the best deals and how to, make meals last longer and how to be frugal and also enjoy being frugal. And that was something that was hard for me to learn, but I felt like that was my biggest lesson is that I have grew up with such a poor money mindset and hearing all negative things about mindset or money always. And so it was instilled in me, even though I didn't realize how deeply rooted that was until I actually started trying to come out of it myself and learning how to come out of it. And I was like, man, this really sucks.
That's so
um,
powerful. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
We lived in, I mean, we lived in that space too where we're like trying to stretch meals or like, trying to figure out where the cheapest groceries are to buy or like our date nights became let's go get a Starbucks and window shop around home goods like
Yeah.
so I can totally relate. That's great. That's like yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So, what was your day to day kind of looking like by the time you started UGC Mastery? Like, what were you doing? I know you were homeschooling, but
Yeah. My day to day, so I spend a lot of time in gratitude. I spend a lot of time journaling. I used to never enjoy things like that. I used to hate reading. And I I forced myself to do things that I didn't like doing, because I knew that in order for me to have a different outcome, I needed to change who I was. And,
Mm.
it always starts with us internally. And that's, any roadblock that I come across, I always step back and ask myself, what is it what's my thought process like right now? What can I change about myself so I can break through this and start something else? And I feel like, again, so I was working network marketing right before I started UGC. That I started in January, so it would have been December. I was finishing up all my shifts at the jewelry store,
Oh,
um, working network marketing, homeschooling my children. Like literally, my head just swiveled, and that was like my normal. I just swiveled forever, and I just learned to live like that. But I spent a lot of time just learning to choose myself and learning to better myself and really sitting with myself. I think that that's something that I used to struggle with, was that being alone, and now I love it. I want to sit with myself and I want to cancel the outside noise. And yeah, that was a lot of my life.
I love that. And the swiveling, like that's so relatable, I think, to a lot of people right now that are just kind of like, oh my God, okay, all right, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
Yeah, like the to-do lists, they never dwindle.
Yeah, yeah. So what made you say yes to investing in the program? I mean, this was obviously it's an investment and money
Mhm.
was what you were struggling with. So like what made you say yes to joining the program?
Yeah, so I didn't have the money to join. And I knew that coming into my call. I didn't know how much it was going to be coming into my call, but um, from an online mentor, Jessie Lee, she just always preached like you have to invest in yourself. And I took that to heart to an extent. Like I played small for so long because she would say you could invest in yourself in free ways, and that's what I would do, right? I
Mhm.
made myself start reading because of her. I made myself start doing things that were free because of what she taught, but I never took that leap of financial investment. And I like one of my biggest regrets was never attending a training of hers. And when I learned that like you were the face of this, like this is yours and Mateo, and then my call ended up being with Mateo. I knew going into this that it was guided, like it was like divine intervention. Like I had to do it no matter what. I had to make that investment. If it meant that I fell flat on my face, then that would have, I would have dealt with it. But the crazy thing is that it didn't. Like I just knew I had to invest in myself, and I knew no matter what was going to happen, no matter how long it took, like it was my turn. And if I was willing to take the risk, it would be my turn. And I felt that so strongly. So that's what made me do
Mm.
it.
That's so powerful because I know the rest of your story.
I know.
So for anybody that doesn't know who Jessie Lee is or Mateo, you should check out the video on my YouTube about why we started UGC Mastery. We explain exactly who Jessie Lee is, and you get to meet Mateo as well. And it's a really, really powerful story. And long story short, Jessie Lee was my best friend and also Mateo's, and she was an online mentor in the network marketing space. And she got colorectal cancer and passed away back in 2023. And so we started UGC Mastery in her honor on the day of her death in 2024, and so it's all kind of divinely interweaved. You have to watch the video to understand, but I want to give a little context on what you're talking about. So shifting back to you, what kind of like the investment, obviously you said you didn't have the money when you got on the call. So like what did you do?
Well, so I felt like I felt like Mateo didn't really give me a choice. He was like, "You can go get your card now," because there there were options. I said, "You want me to go now?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll wait." So I was like, "Okay, I'll be back." Um, and I knew I did it. I put it on payment plan because I had to. I was so, and that's the thing. Like you have to be so insanely tired of where you are right now, and if you're not, nothing's gonna change. But I was so tired. of missing holidays. Like it was like a catch 22, like, oh, you've got extra money coming in for 2 months, but oh, you also have no time with your children for the most magical time of the year. Cool.
Mm.
I was tired of it. I was over it already.
I think we laugh about Mateo not giving you a choice, but sometimes you need that person to hold you accountable to like
Yeah.
really make you change your life. I think if you had gotten off that call, maybe you wouldn't have done it. Maybe you would have like
Mm-mm.
overthought
Oh, yeah.
and been like, maybe I don't know.
Oh,
So
yeah. I definitely wouldn't have done it if I didn't do it right then because I did not have the money. Like, I was so, oh my gosh, like it would make me sweat just thinking about it.
yeah, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
what was it like getting into the program? Like what it was like, yeah, how did you feel once you got into it and started
Um,
like, going through the steps?
oh my gosh. So I share this openly all the time because I feel like it's always, it's better to be vulnerable and honest and raw. And I hate to admit this about myself, but I came into this big headed. I came into this with a big head thinking this was going to be an easy transition for me because I already knew how to do things, and I did not. I was quite literally humbled on day one, assignment one. And I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Are you sure you didn't like how last year looked? Because this one's pretty uncomfortable already. Um, it was it was hard at first, but I needed that. Like again, I was just back to being so desperate for something else, and I knew this is just how I've trained my mind to be and to operate now. Is that as soon as I let myself have a moment of feeling overwhelmed and questioning my life choices up from that moment, I left my office and I just thought if this was easy, everyone else would be doing it. And if this was easy, what kind of outcome would I get? I used to always tell myself like easy is sleazy and I don't want to be sleazy. Like I want a different outcome. So if it's really hard, that means it's going to give me an even better outcome.
Yeah. I think something that I really love about you is your like ability to reframe these tough situations, and I think this it's so powerful because like you said, like something that's worth it is never going to be easy, and I think most people come into it and they want it to be easy, and when it's not they quit, and you've never been like that
Mm-mm.
in the whole time that I've known you.
Mm-hmm.
You've never been like that, and I think that was one of the most powerful things about coaching you was just like your trust in the process and like your trust in your ability to figure it out. And
Mm-hmm.
so how did you build that mindset? I mean, I think everybody that meets you is like, how did you do that?
I know. I know. It's kind of crazy. So it started 5 years ago. Again, I was in a place of desperation. I was tired of who I was. And, when I would say that to people that knew me, they were like, "Oh, but we love you, Katie." And it's like, "That's great." But I didn't love me. And
Mm,
I was finally to the point to where that was so evident. It was so evident in how I thought about myself, how I talked to myself, how I carried myself through day to day. And I was just tired of it. It does. Like it affects how you are towards yourself, what kind of jobs you offer or, accept. Um, and I felt like, how can I, at the time, I was just in network marketing and I just kept telling myself, like, how can you really expect your business to grow? How can you expect people to take seriously if you don't even like yourself?
mm,
So I decided to, and I didn't make a big deal out of it. Like I didn't make a big like pity party. Like, oh, I don't love myself. Like I just went to work. I figured out like what are things that I can do, and the first thing that I did was learn how to express gratitude. I mean, I feel like for me at least, growing up, and a lot of other people are, whenever we give thanks to whoever, or whatever, it's always our house, our spouse, our cars, our kids, a pet, which is cool, right? You should be. But what is it about those things specifically? Like, what do you love about that person specifically, your room specifically? And getting into the nitty gritty, like, truly started to change my mindset. And it's just like, it's like I could feel like an outer body experience of like things unraveling inside of me, of like almost like a weight being lifted, of like, wow, like life is really amazing. And I was just holding myself back. Like, so much of my anxiety, um, went away after I started changing my mindset. I refused to think any other way.
I love that. I think I've told Katie this a million times. Like, she's one of the most patient people that I know. And every time I say that, she's like, I was not like this. Like, I was
No.
not like this. And it was gratitude, right? That helped you build
Yeah. It was gratitude and mindset. To be honest, like if I tell my husband that someone thinks I'm patient, he's like,
this.
because he knows, he's known me for so long. But I have, and a lot of that changed when I decided to homeschool, or at the time it was just our son. So again, that was 5 years ago as well. I had no idea how to homeschool. We didn't have a homeschool community. We knew nothing, and my patience was the worst. At the time, he was also undiagnosed dyslexic, so I had no idea like why he wasn't listening to me, why he wasn't retaining information, and I felt like I can either learn how to change who I am as a person, meaning I can either choose to be patient or I don't, right? And it wasn't easy, but I wanted to try my best to learn how to be patient because, I didn't want him to resent me as his mother. Like I wanted him to know like I'm here for you, like I'm your soundboard, I'm your person, and I wanted to understand him better. Right. And that was so it was a choice for me. Like I can either choose to learn how to be patient or choose not to be patient because it's not fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's definitely made me softer in a way. Um, but I like it.
But she's still a beast. Don't let her fool you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, so what was the first shift that you noticed once you started in UGC Mastery that you were like, okay, this might work?
Um, Probably when I started pitching. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Pitching
was
was not
probably no. No, and literally nothing of my none of the steps in my academy experience were laid out easily. Like every single part was a challenge, except maybe nope. I was gonna say my portfolio, but even that started off rocky at first. um, and I just kept looking at it as a test. Like you either want this or you don't. And if you do want it, you're gonna take a deep breath and figure out how to make it work. And if you don't want it, then you're gonna spiral and cause chaos, and it's not gonna happen.
So what about
But probably,
pitching felt like it was gonna work?
um, honestly, it feels silly to even say that that was the moment for me because pitching also started off very rocky for me. I went through this whole academy and by the time I got to pitching, I was like, oh, brands are just going to flock to me and it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to make back my investment that my husband didn't even know I had spent.
I remember that on our first call, you were like, my husband does not know about this. And I was like,
Nope, he didn't. Um, and yeah, it was so just in the process of pitching, like I knew that that was my final step. I knew it was going to be whether it took long or not. I don't know. I feel like if things are rocky and you can figure them out, they're going to be really beautiful in the end. And pitching was not, I wasn't someone who started pitching and getting brand deals in the first week or the first 2 weeks or the first 3 weeks. So I knew, I just kept telling myself, like, this is going to be so rewarding if you just keep going. And so I think pitching was kind of like my longest moment for me.
yeah, I think
Hmm.
your story is really cool because you get to see somebody that like faced challenges head on
Hmm.
and like did not let them you didn't let them knock you down. Like every week she's like, Sydney, I've sent 100 pitches, what's going on? I'm like, just keep going. She's like, I am okay, got it. And
Yeah.
most people quit. Like that's when most
Hmm.
people quit, when they're not seeing the results as fast as they want them. So again, like I guess I ask you, why didn't you quit?
Because I was desperate for a different outcome. I knew if I quit that 2025 was going to look the exact same as 2024 and 2023 and 2022, and I was done. Like I was ready for something else. And I feel like good things don't just fall into our lap. We really have to work for them. And I really wanted to make it work. And I knew that if I just kept going, and I trusted you so much because I watched your journey from the beginning to where you were. And I'm like, something's got to give. Like, eventually, someone's going to say yes to me.
I guess yeah, I did pitch for 4 months before I got a paid collaboration. So
Yeah. Yeah, so
If we get to 4 months with no paid collaborations, then okay, fine. We're
yeah,
struggling, but until you get to 4 months, you got to keep going.
for sure.
I love that. So, what results did you start seeing once we did start seeing those brand deals?
Um, at first, I saw my first brand deal was $200 from an app, which was not in my niche at all. So that's why I'm so pro getting outside. If I see something that I can apply for even now that's not in my niche, I apply for it because I'm like, yes, I want that.
I will get outside my niche.
And I just trusted the process so much. And I remembered you telling me when they start coming, they won't stop. And in my head at the time, I'm like, whatever, Sydney. Thanks for the pep talk. But I trusted you. Because what else am I going to do? I'm either going to quit and have the same crappy year or try to figure it out.
Mhm.
And it was so true. Like, I literally still have my board from my first month of brand deals, because I just never want to erase it because it was so special to me because of how freaking hard I worked. I felt like I really had to fight for it. And they just didn't stop. Like, they just kept coming and coming and coming. And then I was like, how do I do this? How do I work with brands? How do I keep myself organized? And you figure it out. And it's not as scary as it seems in the very beginning. And brands are literally just other people who communicate with you.
I love that. I think that's like the people are so scared of messing up brand communication. It's like it's
Hmm.
literally just it's just a girl on the other side. Like
Yes,
that is
literally.
literally just a girl.
Yes.
I love that. So do you remember what you made your first month?
Um, my first month was over $1,300.
So
Yeah,
she had a hell of a time pitching, but she had a hell of a reward at the end.
I did. It was so worth it. And um, I remember being a student in the academy, and I was just always in my office. And at the time, with homeschooling both kids at that point, we would take breaks and go outside. And my youngest didn't really understand like why I was so busy and why I didn't have like that same flexibility. And I remember telling them, I'm like, I'm working so hard right now because I do not want to be at the jewelry store this holiday season. Like, I want to be home with you and Bubby. I don't want to be at the jewelry store. So, in order for that to happen, I have to work so hard right now. Even if I don't feel like it, and even if I don't want to, I have to work really, really hard right now.
I love that.
And
So are you going back to the jewelry store?
no, no, I told my manager in July that I was not coming back.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's so
So
like it hasn't fully sink in yet because next month is normally when I would start picking up shifts, and then it's you pick up a few and then it's full blown. See you in January.
yeah. So what's been your favorite moment so far?
Oh man, through just the academy, being a student.
Yeah. We're getting to the next part very soon, I promise.
Um, all the brand deals, honestly, and just it's so crazy. Like, you go from thinking I literally was about to lower my own rates. And had my husband and I were sitting on the porch one night, and I was just so defeated. I had my laptop out there. I was pitching at night. Like, any time that I wasn't really having a conversation with people. I was actually pitching and just trying to listen to other people talk to me. Like, I was always pitching, and I told him, I said, I'm just going to lower my rates because nothing's happening. And Sydney said once they start coming, they won't stop. So I just need to lower them to get something to come. And he agreed. He was like, okay, just lower them for now, and then you go back up. And I'm not even kidding. The next morning, I had an email from a brand who I'd pitched to 3 weeks prior. They were late getting back to me because they were on vacation. They already had my original rates, and they wanted to work with me. And I was just like so freaking over the moon. Like, my confidence was amazing. I don't know, it's just changed so much for me that it changed my confidence. It changed the way that my ability, like my belief in myself. Right. I mean, I'm used to talking to customers and people with network marketing, but this was just so different.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's like a sign. It's like, okay, fine.
Yes.
She's reached her
Yes.
breaking point. Please don't let her lower her rates.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so in June, we actually had a conversation where we decided we were going to bring on a UGC student as a coach and bring somebody into the academy. And the first person that came to mind actually was Katie for me. And so tell them a little bit about that. She's now a UGC Mastery coach and gets to coach students through their experience with UGC and their journey through UGC. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is definitely my favorite part, because I love people and I love working with people, and I think it's so freaking cool for me because I went through the program, and I didn't just go through, I didn't slide through it. I didn't like ace my way through it. I literally felt like I crawled through the program and with like the best intentions ever. I really had to work through each single task, every homework assignment, every feedback that I ever got. Like I worked through that, and I felt like it just helped give me a whole better understanding of the course and what it can do. And, even seeing myself on the outside of the academy and like I'm an actual UGC creator, I'm making money creating content for brands. Like it's such a cool experience being able to work with so many different students and watch their journeys start and, kind of doubtful, but then watching, like I've already had some complete their 90 days and they're doing so amazing, and it's such a cool thing to watch.
I love that. This has been like I've we've had this conversation a couple times where like Katie has talked about kind of the journey that you had where you were like looking for something to do and kind of coaching fell into your lap. You really said, I mean, you said at the beginning of this call, like you knew that if you took a shot on yourself, like this would be your opportunity. And so
Hmm.
do you feel like, you're where you're meant to be now?
Yeah, for sure. And the crazier thing to this is, and which I know I've told you this before, but December of last year, just because again, I was so miserable with where I was trying anything and creating opportunities for me to make income. So because I love gratitude and because people know me for my mindset, people that have known me for, over the last 5 years saw my transformation with my mind and how I treat myself and how I show up for myself. And so I get questions about that from people. How do I change? How did you change your mindset? What was the one thing that you did? Well, there's always a lot of things. So I created gratitude groups, and I would have a 30-day grace and gratitude group. And in that moment of just building that, just trying to freaking set up that little bit of organization was insanely hard. And I just kept thinking, like, one day this will be so big, like I'm gonna have to have a whole team. Like, how would I ever do this by myself? And I was doing that as well. So I didn't mention that, but that's what I was also doing while I was in the academy, was running my grace and gratitude groups. Um, because I was just so passionate about it and helping people. Like it just always comes back to helping people and serving people in any way that I could. And that's really just kind of what made the coaching position just feel even sweeter and like even more of a divine intervention moment for me, because I'm like, this is it. Like
I love that.
yeah.
We forgot to tell, you had a concussion the whole time you were in the program.
Yeah, I did. You know what? I was looking at my portfolio the other day because I sent it to a student, and I was like, one of my videos on my portfolio is from when I had a concussion.
She's like, sorry, I'm taking so long. I have a concussion. I'm like, what? Are you okay?
Yeah, it was the worst thing. I would rather have another C-section than I would recover from a
Wow.
concussion. Yeah.
I've never
That
had a
was,
concussion, so that's good to know.
yeah, that was in April. And I kept working. Like I gave myself, that first week was rough. So I did give myself some grace, but I still created a video and I still made, still got my paycheck. I was too hungry. It was going to have to be more than a concussion to stop me. When in reality, I definitely could have just emailed the brand and said, "Hey, I need an extra week. I literally have a concussion," but it was fine.
It's fine.
They loved it.
So, what's been your favorite part about coaching so far?
Mm, oh my gosh. Okay, so probably two parts is obviously the students and helping. Like I get to fulfill that part of me of pouring into people. Um, obviously we have the structure of the academy, but a lot of people struggle with mindset. They struggle with how they talk about themselves and talk to themselves. And I really get to come in and help flip that script for them. So I think that that's super cool because it's not, even though it's not necessarily like a UGC tool, it's a tool that everyone needs, and it's something that you're going to get to carry with you for the rest of your life, I hope. So that is very fulfilling to me. But the other part is honestly the team. Like I Barcelona being at our team retreat, just like it seriously, it was weird for me at first. Mateo, calls all of us family, and we're this and we're that, and I was just always like, okay, like whatever. But then when I met everyone, I seriously just feel like we were plucked from the universe to like all be in the same spot for a very reason, and it was the most special feeling ever. Like I would gladly live with everyone that we were just with because it just felt so fitting, and it just like that's truly what I would imagine a happy family to feel like.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Katie is like, we went and had a team retreat in Barcelona last 2 months ago, last month. I
Last,
don't know,
yeah.
August. It was in August. And we had to spend like, I don't know, a week together, almost, or
Hmm.
a little bit less than a week together. And it was like the most, yeah, like exactly what you said. It's like divine intervention that we
Hmm.
were all in the same place at the same time, and insane.
Yeah.
Um, I had a question and then it literally just left my brain. So hopefully I will remember what it was. But tell me like a little bit about what. Okay, so Katie is our resident pitching expert. If we have any issues at all with pitching in the process, we send to Katie, the residential pitching expert. So tell me a little bit about like how you help students kind of get through that like mindset of like pitching is hard or pitching is
Hmm.
not working or whatever. Because obviously this is probably the part where most people quit. Um,
Hmm.
so tell me a little bit about that.
So, pitching is a few different things for me. One, it's mindset. This is the part of your whole journey. This is the part of your academy journey that is testing you the most. How bad do you really want what you say you want? How bad do you want the outcome that you signed up for? How bad do you want it? Are you willing to wait months, or not months, but are you willing to wait at least weeks? Because sometimes it's like that. It's a numbers game, right? So if you're pitching 50 to 100 brands a week, I wouldn't unless you just get lucky, I wouldn't expect a lot. It's a numbers game. So you put out more, you get more in return. That's something that I always like to cover with them. And also helping students really scale back to celebrating their small wins, right? Because a lot of the times we forget everything that we just did in the academy, and it's like, hold up, no, you just accomplished a lot, and you're disregarding everything that you just did. You literally struggled for the last 60 days, and you're disregarding all of it because no one's responding to you yet, or no one wants to work with you yet. They do want to work with you. They're waiting for you to keep showing up. And that's like once you have that conversation and you can see things differently, students keep going. And because it's truly like you're being tested, do you want this or not? What's your numbers look like? If they're low, that's why. Like we need to speed up, right? If you want to, the other thing that I like to point out to students is this is a brand new business, right? Just because you went through an academy and you completed the courses doesn't mean that you're guaranteed a job,
Mhm.
right? Same thing with college. You can go through college and doesn't get a degree, doesn't mean you're guaranteed a job.
Mhm.
How bad do you want it? Are you going to show up like you want it? You have to basically just start sprinting. As soon as you're done and you get to start pitching, you sprint until
Yeah.
you start racking in those brand deals, because again, once they start, they don't stop. That momentum, it's just an energy that's created, and it's really cool how it happens. And I know it's like it's never really things that people want to hear, but it's how it happens.
Never do they want to hear that.
No, and honestly, I mean, just to break it down even farther than that, like creating momentum, each process of pitching it creates momentum, whether if you allow it to, right? Just getting brand responses, getting them to respond to you is momentum being created. Like hone in on the fact and be grateful that they even responded to you. I don't care if they told you no, they responded. Because a lot of us don't even get that in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. I remember my question.
Okay.
So when we went to Barcelona, we
Mhm.
got to also meet your husband, Barry.
Mhm.
And Barry came into the retreat kind of thinking that this was BS, didn't he?
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about like kind of how your husband has been and like what like yeah, just tell me all of it. Like spill the
Yeah.
tea.
So after I signed up, like the same day, he was home that day. So he did know that I signed up for the academy, but he never asked. And I thought, okay, if he asks me how much, I'll tell him. But he never did. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm a student for free, right? Whatever. And he thought it was cool because he does watch YouTube a lot. So he sees a lot of these short film advertisements come up. And so he thought it was cool, which was odd for me because again, I'd been in network marketing for almost 8 years at that point, and he supported me. It's not like he ever told me, no, don't do that, don't waste your time. He has never been like that, but he was never involved.
Mm.
Never like attended trainings with me or trips with me, nothing. Like it was your thing, you can go do it, whatever, it's fine. So I already felt different because he was interested. He thought it was cool. So I'm like, okay, I've got a foot in right now. And then um, watched me struggle through it, but just like super supportive. And then when I told him that, I was having an interview to be a coach, it was just kind of like, he didn't make a big deal out of it. It was just kind of like, okay, let me know how it goes. And then I got it, and he had questions of like, when do you get paid, and how much do you have to do like to get paid? What do you have to do? um, who are these people? um, and it was just such a different experience for him because he's not on social media a lot. He hasn't followed, you for years like I had. He didn't know of Mateo like I did. So I had a different level of trust with him, and I was used to being paid online from people that I'd never met. Um, but for him, especially the first month, getting into it, I became really busy. And he was like, after he knew a roundabout when I was supposed to be paid, and he texted me at work that day and he said, "Did you get a paycheck yet?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Okay." The next month came. He texted me, same thing while he's at work. "Did you get a paycheck today?" And he's like, "I don't need anything." Like, he's not asking for my money. He's like, "I just want to make sure that this is real." I said, "Yes." And then, I start telling him about the team retreat, and he's interested. Of course, who isn't? But he's reserved, and he was like literally trying to come up with a game plan of where are we going to stay if we get to Barcelona and this isn't real. And I said, "Well, I'm sure it's full of hotels, so we'll find something." Like, I don't care. I just want to go. And yeah, it was just, he had no idea what to expect. He had no idea.
Have you noticed like a shift since Barcelona with
Oh
him?
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. He loves my job. I mean, he even said at our retreat, like, that aside from marrying him, that this was the best decision that I'd ever made. He loves it. And um he there's a shift in him for sure, of his thought process, and it's really cool to see.
That is really cool. I love
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, switching gears back to your UGC, like what has your biggest month been with UGC?
1,300.
1,300. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Which is more than I was getting from the jewelry store.
Yeah, so I mean even that is I
Yeah.
love
And I think that some of that slowed when I started coaching, just because it was right at the same time. It was literally once my momentum with deals started building up and kept growing, I brought on another opportunity, right? Which I didn't view as a bad thing. Because the other super cool part of pitching, I pitched like a maniac. When Sydney finally told me that this was a numbers game and you have to do more, I literally did more. I did exactly what she told me to do. And because I pitched like a maniac in the beginning of my journey, I was busy learning a new coaching role while receiving emails from brands to work with them because I had, they were essentially following up from the month prior. So I still had, it was such a cool moment for me to experience because I get to share that with others, right? Like that's the true compounding effect. Like I worked my butt off, got busy with a new role temporarily, busy at least, and still had deals to work with. So I was still bringing in UGC money and it was very, very cool.
That is so cool. What's been your favorite brand to work with?
Um, my favorite brand so far, honestly, Pesty, the pest control.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
remember that. Oh my gosh. I remember that. So,
Yeah.
you want to tell the story of how of that of kind of your growth that happened with that brand deal? Was that brand deal?
Was it the, I don't think that was, oh, wait. What are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of when you got the feedback from the brand and had to redo the whole video.
That sucks.
It was like
No.
it was a
Um,
different brand?
no. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't Pesty. Pesty, I feel like Pesty was super cool. And they were one of the brands that also just talked to me like I was a human, right? Like super chill. I've had a lot of brands like that. So the majority of the brands are just super chill people. They're just trying to find someone to work with them. Um,
Literally.
that brand that I had to redo. Yeah, I actually had to buy things for them. It wasn't a lot. It was like $4, but I had to do that twice because I had to redo. And it was simply because I was too excited and I didn't read everything through and they were like, "We need you to redo all of this."
She sends
Cool.
me this video and she's like, they said this is too boring. And I was like, well,
It
she goes,
is.
I have to redo it. I said, well, I would if I were you. But then you
Yeah.
redid it and you were like, I'm so glad that they had
Hmm.
to redo it because you liked it so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of my favorite ones, but they weren't the best to communicate with after that.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
it was still a super cool experience. Like I'm all for, how are you going to learn anything if you don't make mistakes?
Hmm.
So I'm all for making them because even if it's frustrating, something else is going to be frustrating if it's not that thing. So you might as well
Yeah.
take it and learn from it.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I think you've just been like so cool at pivoting, like so good at pivoting through this whole
Mhm.
process. And I think that's such a testament to like your character and who you are. So
Thank you.
what would you say to someone who's where you were before you started?
It's
That's kind
time.
of, yeah.
It's time. It's time to take a chance on yourself because if you don't, everything's going to look the same. And I know it's there's a phase that you go through when you know you want more, but you're almost afraid to ask for more because it makes you seem like you're ungrateful for where you are. I have been journaling gratitude every single day for years. Like there wasn't an ounce of my soul that was not grateful for the life that I had. I was so grateful and I would have been happy, but I just knew that there was more. And it doesn't make you ungrateful to want more. Like I feel like we're supposed to receive more. We're supposed to evolve and grow and be different and be more and receive more and you just have to, in order to do those, you have to do the things that make you insanely uncomfortable, sweaty armpits, maybe go cry in the closet for a minute and swipe your card.
It's like your growth never happens when you're comfortable, ever.
Yeah, no.
You'll if you stay comfortable, you'll always be the same person. You'll always live the same life. And if you're miserable in your life right now, I'm sorry, you're gonna be miserable forever.
Yes, and that's honestly that was something that I kept telling myself and just kept in the back of my mind when everything was so hard for me going through the academy. Like I wasn't comfortable anymore. I was learning things that I thought were going to be easy for me, but they weren't.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So what's next for you?
oh man. um I mean, I won't keep creating to be honest. Um I'm pitching again a lot and kind of having a game with it and having fun with it and knowing that you have to do a lot if you want to get the most. And That's where I am right now, is pitching and working with brands, still working with brands, coaching, and a part of me kind of has tossed around the idea of opening up my gratitude groups again. I'm not sure yet.
Well, we'll see if that happens for you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything, any kind of like last words? Thank you again for getting on here and sharing your story and
You're
sharing your
welcome.
journey from network marketing to gratitude to UGC to UGC coach. I mean, I think a lot's happened in the last what we're 10 months into
10
the
months.
year. And
Mm-hmm.
so lots changed for you since the last holiday season. And thank you again for sharing your story. Is there anything else that you would like anybody listening to know, or anything else you want to add, or any last words?
Um, I don't think so, other than it's just crazy how much my life has truly changed. Truly, just in 10 months. I'm a
From
UGC
one
creator.
investment on
Yeah.
a credit card.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Like an investment that I didn't have it. I didn't have it. I didn't have a plan B. I literally had no plan B, which was also very nerve-wracking for someone who was I was like it's almost like I was terrified of money. As like weird as that sounds, I was just terrified of it because I never felt like I had enough and never knew how to manage what I had, and it took me being at the bottom to really start to understand money and be thankful for money and manage my money better, and it's just been the coolest experience. It's almost like, why didn't you take, Jesse Lee's advice years ago? But everything happens exactly how it's like. I had certain things that I was supposed to learn in that time, so it all happened exactly how it was supposed to.
I love that. I love.
Yeah.
Thank you again for sharing and for being here and giving us your time and giving all the students your time. Anybody that
Yeah.
ends up with Katie as a coach is very lucky. All of our coaches are awesome, but anybody that ends up with Katie as a coach is very lucky, and super, super excited to see like how things grow for you, what the next steps are, and honestly, like as we grow as UGC Mastery, I'm so excited that you're here to be a part of that with us. Um, I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for the relationship we've gotten to build, and the impact that you've already had on so many students. And just in case anybody was wondering, Jessica, if you have not seen her
Mhm.
story, was actually partnered up with Katie, so Katie was her coach. And so if you need some
Yeah.
help with Jessica, you need a Katie coach. So thank
Yeah.
you so much, and I appreciate you so much.
You're welcome. I appreciate you too.
Bye.